The name of Zion signifies a sacred land, a utopia of beauty and grandeur. In a place like this, where those words find their very meaning, the name Zion has never been more appropriately given. "100 years ago, the area now known as Zion National Park was all but inaccessible to visitors. Its canyon walls and extreme nature held man at arm's length. Even so, the legend and wonder it created brought explorers to gaze upon what they could only fleetingly describe to those who had not made the journey. Now, traveling to Zion isn't much of a trial, with easy access by any number of means. But the splendor hasn't aged a day from when those early pioneers first sat at its rim. This probably isn't a way you would imagine traveling to Zion, though. ATVs and national parks aren't usually found together, but here on the north edge of Zion, lands private and public offer trails that lead off-road riders to the very precipice of this remarkable gorge.
Just outside of the park, there's quite a lot of trails. BLM land is all over around here to one side of the park, and you can pretty much go anywhere you want as long as it doesn't say private property.
The north rim of Zion touches thousands of miles of BLM land. Public trails allow ATVers and dirt bike hounds to get right to the edge of the national park, where they are invited to climb off their machines and hike their way inside. Zion Ponderosa Ranch Resort, a vacation spot which overlooks the park, also offers almost a dozen guided trails. Although these are private routes, they still lead riders through forests of juniper and cedar to the rim of Zion. The resort guides not only take visitors along trails both technical and trouble-free, but to vantage points that they wouldn't be likely to find on their own.
Here on the Ponderosa Ranch and Resort, we take you to quite a bit of different places that overlook Zion National Park. Today we went to Checkerboard Mesa. The trail that we rode was on private property. They call it Checkerboard Mesa because it looks like checkerboards from the wind and the water eroding it away after time.
You could see the way the Virgin River had carved the gorge. So we took some time and enjoyed the view, and then got back on the trail and came down the back of Jolly's Gulch, and the next thing I know, what a spectacular view. I got a phobia of heights, but I actually went to the tree and leaned over the edge.
Jolly's Gulch, named after the legend of a man who may have thrown himself from the canyon's edge, is a perfect example of why Zion continues to captivate people the world over. Delving into this land by ATV changes the experience somewhat, just as it does to most other locales.
I just like to be able to get out and ride, enjoy what I see, kind of snaking through the scenery. Instead of looking at it from a road, you're actually part of it. You know, you can stop and get off and walk around up in the trees, and you get to see deer. You can just come out, turn the engine off, and the only thing you can hear is the wind, and nothing for miles around you.
No better name exists to describe these lands than Zion. Every turn in the trail, whether taken by motorized means or treading on foot, leads to new discovery, stellar beauty, and an encounter with a world that can't be qualified by mere words.
Today's today. I'm here. If I never come back to it, it'll always be burned in my mind.
It's amazing, it's beautiful, and every time I come up here, it gets more and more amazing. You notice more and more stuff. I would recommend it to anybody. It's beautiful out here.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime, thing for a lot of people. This time of year with all the snow runoff, we got a waterfall here that's normally a dry cliff. And there's things that you won't be able to ever see again because it just happens at a blink of an eye and then it's gone.
From the rim of Zion, I'm Stephen Heumann for Retro.